In this video, I'm going to show you how to make your first song with literally nothing but a laptop and a pair of headphones. I'm not at my studio at the moment, I'm out traveling. I thought it would be a great opportunity to show you how to produce because all I have is a laptop. If you're just getting into music production, I'm guessing you probably don't have that much gear. This video is for you. The first thing you're going to need is a digital audio workstation. There's so many of them out there. Ableton, Pro Tools, Logic, Cakewalk, the list goes on and on. I'm using Ableton and I strongly recommend it. It's cheap, so it's easy to get into, and there's a 30-day free trial that you can literally download right now. When you open Ableton, it's going to look a bit confusing. Don't worry about it. We're just going to break it down step by step. First thing you're going to do is click this button in the top right, and it's going to take you to the arrangement view. This is where we're going to be spending all of our time. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here and click these where it says MIDI and press delete. Click this, press delete and delete. Just so we have one track. This is called a track and it's where we put an instrument so we can play it. The first thing we're going to do is find an instrument we like the sound of. Come over to the search bar on the left, click where it says instruments and just have a look through. I'm going to get an electric piano just by searching it in. Now you've typed it in, click on it to get a sample of what it sounds like. I like this childhood home piano. Once you've found it, click it and drag it onto the MIDI track. Now, to actually be able to play our instrument, come over here to the top right and click this piano button. You can also do this by pressing the letter M on your keyboard. Now I can use my laptop keyboard as a piano. Cool. So if you don't know any music theory, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to make chords without knowing anything. If you press in your middle mouse button, you can scroll across to the start where it says 1 up here. Now I'm going to click and drag 4 bars. So you can see I've highlighted between 1 and 5. Once it's highlighted, right click, insert empty MIDI clip. This means we can program what we would play on the piano into Ableton so it can play it for us. Once you've got a MIDI clip, mine's blue. If you click on the top where your mouse becomes a grabby hand, you're going to have a piano roll pop up in the bottom of your screen. Make this bigger, click this little headphone button so you can hear the keys, and then press the keys. So now I can hear the notes that I'm pressing. So how do we make chords without knowing any music theory? The first thing we want to do is select a key and a scale that we're going to work in. A scale is just a bunch of musical notes that will work well together when they're played. You can do that up here. I'm going to select D minor. You can select whatever you want. Minors are typically sad songs, majors are typically upbeat, happy songs, but that's just a general rule of thumb. It's not law. Now, you can see on our piano roll, we have purple notes that are highlighted. And if you come up and click where it says scale, the only notes that are going to show up on our piano roll are the notes in our scale. Let's have a listen. Just like that, I can play piano without knowing anything. So, how do we make chords? There's a super easy way to do this without knowing any music theory. So you can see up here in the top, I've selected D. I'm going to come down to where it says D on my piano roll and double click to make a note. You can see I'm really zoomed out right now. So if you bring your mouse to where it changes like this, you can click and drag to make the note bigger. For now, we want our chords to be 1 bar long. You can see up the top, we have 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 2, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 3, and so on. We're going to make a note that goes all the way from 1 to 2. You can see mine goes all the way from 1 to 2. That's how long our chords are going to be, just to keep it simple for today. If you hold Control on your keyboard and click and drag, you can move this note around. I'm going to click and drag and move it to a different note on the scale and do the same process twice. So far, this is what that sounds like. Now, what you're going to do, hold Control, click and drag and move this note so it duplicates up 2. And do the same with all of them. It's pretty awesome, right? Just like that, without knowing any music theory, we've created chords. You can experiment with this as much as you want. For example, add another one in. You can even go again. I'm going to keep this nice and simple, so I'm just going to use the 2 notes from before. Now, I want this to play back and forth without having to press play and pause all the time. So what I'm going to do is click this little bar, and you can move it left and right, and I'm going to make it the same length as my MIDI clip, and then come up here and press this button. That's going to make that selection loop, so it's going to go back and forth without having to press play and pause. Press the space bar to play it. Perfect. Now, I want these chords to move a bit faster, so what I'm going to do is come up to the top left and increase this number. This is the BPM, or beats per minute. The higher the number, the faster the song. The lower the number, the slower the song. Let's go 138. That's exactly what I want. Now let's add some other instruments. I'm going to add a kick drum to start. So, come over to the left, find drums, and then I'm going to find kick, and have a listen to something I like. Okay, I like this one. So I'm going to click it and drag it into empty space. Now, holding Control and zooming in, you can see that I have a kick now. I'm going to turn it down. You can do that with this blue box on the left. I'm going to add a kick every bar. Hold the kick, hold Control, and then you can duplicate it. Okay, I'm going to actually make 2 every bar. Okay, we're getting somewhere, but it's not really interesting yet. I'm going to add a melody. Right click over here, insert MIDI track, and then I'm going to come back over to my instruments and add another instrument. Let's see what I can find. I found this glow pad. I don't know if it's really going to work, but let's just try it. Click, drag it on, and now I'm going to select the same distance, right click, insert empty MIDI clip. Now I can play these notes and make something sound good. I don't like this instrument, I'm going to find a different one. I found a weird bell, let's see how that goes. Okay, I like how that's going. Let's add a few more instruments playing the same melody. So I'm going to duplicate these chords and then put a different instrument on it. So you can hear I just added this trumpet and it sounds a bit dry. Let's come over to audio effects and put on a reverb. And I'm going to make the decay about 5 seconds. Now let's see if we can add some hi-hats and some snares. I'm just going to change the chords slightly. Okay, I've got a loop that I'm somewhat happy with. It's not perfect, but it sounds pretty cool. Let's add some bass. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so I want a hi-hat. Let's go into hi-hat and have a listen. So I've just added some bits where the hi-hat goes a bit faster. Let's have a listen to that now. Now, I want the kick to be a bit more interesting. So if we come in, there we go. So to turn 4 bars into a song, let's just move everything over to the side by selecting Control A and then clicking it and dragging it. And now, these first bars we can just build up. Okay, so we've played around with a few things. Let's hear how that sounds. Thanks for watching. If you learn anything, leave a like and subscribe. I'm planning to make a lot more content like this and teach songwriters how to record their music. So if you're interested at all, follow along.